What's up, my witches? It's me, Luna. Welcome to my channel, whether you're new or whether you're old. I am here to do an unboxing for you. And before I do, if you didn't know, there's an Amazon wish list below that has a shit ton of decks on it. And if you purchase me a deck off of that list, when I test drive at the end of the unboxing, as I will do today, I will read for you exclusively. It's the only way you can get a personal reading from me these days, unless you're a member of my family. So, all right, here we go. Today we are unboxing the Mantra Oracle, and I saw this deck. I was watching a video from Lisa Papez. I'm doing a marathon shoots. But I was watching a video of Lisa Papez, and she was talking about new releases, and she went on, I think she was on Amazon just looking at, all the new releases this month. As soon as she showed this one, I jumped on it. By Lily Barbary Coulon, an essential deck for self-discovery. What's interesting is that it arrived, there's no plastic, oh, I see, there's no plastic on it, but we got to pick this off. All right, sorry, I'm a picker. If it's too, oh no, good, yay, that was easy. So we have Mantra Oracle. Sterling Ethos is the publishing house. Nothing on top or bottom. Channel the potent energy of spoken invocations. Whether you seek inspiration, insight, or the answer to a particular question, the Mantra Oracle is a powerful tool for your daily practice. Spread out the 54 cards face down. Speak your intent before picking the card calling to your left hand. Look at the illustration, then read the corresponding mantra. Read the accompanying booklet to discover the meaning of the card. You can meditate with these phrases or simply follow the path indicated in their messages. Packaged in an elegant keepsake box that includes a lifting ribbon and magnetic enclosure. Closure. These stunning gilt-edged cards combine the laws of synchronicity with the energetic power of sacred language, so as to guide you toward the answer you've been looking for. Now, the reason I jumped on this so hard is because I am a mantra practitioner, and I use the two that I use are green Tara and white Tara. So I'll be interested to see if they show up in here. Here's the book. Okay, ribbon pull. We promised a ribbon pull. I don't see it. Here's a ribbon pull on each side of here. But we don't get a ribbon pull to get the book out, which is a shame, because when you have to keep doing this to pull the book out, this is going to get fucked up pretty quick, unless you take it and dump the deck out. It's a nice size book, full size book. Each of the cards has a title there. Let's take a look here. Quickie. This just was released 3 days ago as I'm shooting this, on June 20th, 2023. We have an introduction, your turn to play, Ad Sach Jagad Sach, recover the universal truth, Ades Tise Ades, the wisdom of humility, Adi Shakti Namo Namo. Okay, so these are basically just Sanskrit mantras, as I think as they all are. The ones I use, Tare Tutare Tore Soha and Tare Tutare Tore Mamayu Punyajana Putin Guru Soha, are from Sanskrit, but they have Tibetan pronunciations. Ajay Alai, Ang Sang Wahe Guru, Antur Nad Mantra. Okay, I'm not going to read those. Rediscover universal truth, wisdom of humility, divine feminine. So we're just going through all the cards here. So easy. Let's go to the introduction. It's long. For a long time, I thought Oracle and Tarot were nothing but a scam. The thought of making a decision based on some random cards seemed absolutely preposterous, and if I could acknowledge the aesthetic beauty of some decks, I still didn't understand the appeal of such spiritual practices. Here we go. To me, they were as unreliable as the horoscopes I listened to on the radio as a child, which are complete bullshit, so yeah. I started to change my mind in 2016 when I discovered Kundalini Yoga. After being a journalist for almost 15 years, spending my days looking for rational ways to see the world, I was suddenly experiencing new sensations that my 5 senses couldn't explain. Would it explain better if you knew you had 6 senses? Every new class opened a door to unexplored regions of my consciousness. The power of these series of intense breathworks, movements, and sung meditations to my physical, emotional, and energetic stage was astounding. When I closed my eyes, I allowed myself to venture toward the unseen and the mystery that I had never been initiated into before. It doesn't happen much in our culture. The incredible power of mantra was soon part of my everyday life, softly loosening my most tenacious resistances. I started to look into the yogic teachings, the physics, the astronomy, and the nature I'd been so deeply disconnected from, in the hope of understanding this sudden inner harmony, achieved without any substance or side effects. My vision of the world had changed as if I had removed veils from the surface of my retinas. I was more sensitive to the seasons, to subtle changes, and the signs I used to see as coincidences. I had eventually accepted the existence of a magic my brain still cannot comprehend. Synchronicity or coincidence? Okay, so we're talking about coincidences, calling it just a mere coincidence versus synchronicity, which is things, random, seemingly unrelated things coming together at a significant time. Oracle and mantras during yoga practice, when setting an intention at the beginning of a course or before a full moon ritual, the teacher might offer to let their students pick a card out of an oracle deck. These special occasions allowed me to get accustomed to these new tools. Now I use them whenever I feel like it. Always struck by the accuracy of the readings. I see the word mind-blowing. Where do these 54 mantras come from? In many yogic practices, sacred syllables are used to start and end the moment of the practice. Originating from ancient traditions, these short sentences are extracted from much longer texts, some of which date back to about 1,500 years before the birth of Jesus Christ, like the Gayatri Mantra, for instance. These syllables, unknown to Westerners, have been sung and repeated for hundreds, if not thousands of years, and become part of humanity's spiritual heritage. Although derived from Hinduism, Sikhism, and Buddhism, mantras are not dogmatic chants reserved to religious practice. These syllables, usually arranged in groups of 8 as a reference to infinity, are extremely powerful. One might believe that the mantra's meanings affect our psyche. However, even if you don't speak Sanskrit or Gurmukhi, you can feel the untranslated words' effect. In fact, the sung syllables' vibrations act therapeutically. Now, all right, wait a minute. I'm going to read this next paragraph. In every culture, we soothe babies with sounds and songs. Every sound has its own frequency, capable of soothing, energizing, calming, or on the contrary, scaring, like with shrieks and roars. Each of the 54 selected mantras for this oracle has its own specific property that you can explore by repeating it. In Kundalini Yoga, which Westerners discovered in the late 60s when it was introduced for the first time on the west coast of the United States, it is common to use mantras in most meditations. Even if some mantras are in English, most of them come from Sikhism, and they are all equally powerful. I did not choose the number 54 at random. 54 is half of 108, which, like the number 8, is said to be connected to infinity. Traditionally, mantras are repeated 108 times with the help of a mala, a necklace made of 108 pearls, or just beads. I have a sandalwood mala on my altar back there that I use. Your turn to play. Create a sacred space, sit cross-legged on a meditation cushion, if you can. Take a few seconds to focus on the air coming in and going out. And I love, because the someone that started this from a yogic practice is going to really understand the breath and how intimately connected. I wish my camera would stop. Plenty of you to plenty here for you to focus on that will stop the pulsing. Stop. Good Lord. All right. So what I wanted to say before is, when we're talking about mantra, talking about speaking, singing, those are all vibrations. Every word you speak has a frequency and a vibration. It also has an intention and that energy behind it. Every sound that is released into the universe is never destroyed. It goes out, and its waves affect other waves, and those affect other ones, and things go out and they return, and it never completely disappears. And with mantra, it is said You know, so many have recited these mantras and they're still hanging out there in the atmosphere. And every time you recite one, it's like going into a music store and hitting an A on a, you know, tuning fork or something, and all the A's, all the strings tuned to A are going to start to vibrate. This is how it works. So when you recite that mantra, it's like ringing a bell, and all the other mantras that have been recited over the millennia start to vibrate. So powerful. And then there are particular days in Buddhism and probably Sikhism too, where whatever mantra work you do is seen to be magnified, you know, 10 times or 1,000 times or something. Okay, start the reading, interpret the card you've drawn, deciding how to use the card. Sing with your heart, not your head. How to act and behave while you chant. So there's all kinds of great instruction here. When is it best to meditate with a mantra? There's no ideal moment to meditate. When you need it. And then we go into the cards, and at the end, and we see that we've got a full 2 pages for each of the cards, and we have acknowledgments. So we do, okay, so there we go. There's the book. This I'm not too crazy about. You know, there's a ribbon pull. Oh, that I'm crazy about. And that's the second half of the deck. This is the first half of the deck. I don't like, you want to know why I don't like it? Take a look. Look at this. I'm holding them together. Look, they don't. Oh my God. And then there's this. Hey, Sterling Ethos, this sucks. A ribbon pull and a magnet closure, but you know, I mean, it wouldn't be as bad if it weren't for the fact that the cards are bent. Hey, look at that. That's pretty exciting. If the cards weren't bent to such an extent that they do not nest together. Now, sometimes they at least feel like they're the same size, because frequently when you have decks separated like that, and we won't know until I shuffle these, you get, they're not cut evenly, and so they won't shuffle. And I'm thinking these might be cut off because, and it, on this side they match, on this side they don't. Let's get to the divinity that's in them with the mantras. I'm going to keep the book, pardon me, next to me here, because some of these mantras I'm familiar with, some I'm not, and I want to see if there's pronunciation. So let's go to the very first one here. Full mantra, Ad Sach Jagad Sach, Hai Bhai Sach Nanakosi Bhai Sach. Okay. So we don't have, oh, okay, looky. So we have the mantra, we have the key phrase, recover the universal truth. Then we have full mantra, translation, true in the beginning, true throughout time, true here and now, Nanak said it, truth always will be. Hebe Sach, Nanak Hosi Bi Sach. Even when most, and then we have a description or meaning, and then we have practice, and then at the end, suggested musical version. I know this stop. Oh my God. Obstacles, always obstacles. I know this version because, hold on, because of Lisa Thiel, singer-songwriter in the spiritual earth-based traditions. So, and you know what, we didn't look at the backs. I got so upset. So the backs are the same as the cover of the book, and we see this beautiful image. There's the moon. There's what looks like a, is that a jaguar or a bear, kind of? We see sort of a satyr looking dude. He looks like he's got horns. And just these people of various skin tones, just sort of moving. Moving as people that do yoga are able to move. Okay, so there's that one. And they don't, unfortunately, they don't give a pronunciation, but the fact that they do give a musical version, that right there is worth the price of admission to me. So this is Ares, Sai Ares, the wisdom of humility. I'm going to butcher these, you know, with a goodwill. With all respect. Oh, look at this. And we didn't look at the image. So she's like hugging this book. Adi Shakti Namo Namo, the power of the divine feminine. That's Shakti. Look at her, pregnant with the earth. Ajay alive, feeling invincible. Look at the lion. Ang Sang Wahe Guru, my soul pulsates within me. I'm already, as I'm reading these, I feel myself getting calm. And, you know, part of that is because I do practice mantra and I know the power of them, but just the quietness of the artwork. So we have pen and ink. Any shading is done with stippling. I don't know if you can see. There you go. Kind of grayed out hues. But just look at this. That she looks like she's underwater. The cardstock is thick. Like thicker than a postcard. Antar Nad mantra, lucky no matter what. Now, Antar Nad mantra. So it names the mantra, but the full mantra is here, and we're going to give it a shot. And it says, lucky no matter what. So here's a mantra we're all going to want. Sare sasa, sare sasa, sare sasa, sarung hare har har, hare har har, hare har har, harung. Har har. Luck that never deserts you. There you go. Apsahai hoa, become fearless. Now see this image, that, you know, fearlessness. It shows. Facing down, a wolf, a couple wolves. Ardas by tune in to your guides and angels. Chatra Chakravarti, the unrestricted courage. Look at her leaping. I mean, the bodies here are just so loose and fluid. Dharti Hai Akash Hai, radiating my full presence. Into a tree. Again, I keep thinking I have two cards because, wow, they're thick. Gate Gate Paragate, accepting ephemerality. This is called the Prajnaparamita, or the Heart of Wisdom. Let's see what we have. The whole Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhisvaha, and it means go beyond. Go beyond. Go beyond the beyond, and awaken. Accepting ephemerality, that things change constantly. Wow, okay. I cannot wait to look up these musical references. The Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhu Bhuva Svaha Tat Savitur Varenyam Bargo Devasya Dimahi Diyo Yona Prachodayat. I am familiar with that one from a song by Chloe Goodchild, I think her name is. May the sun guide my way. Gobinda Gobinda Hari Hari, unrelentless support. Guru Gayatri Mantra, escaping negativity. So I'm not obviously going to go to the book for each one of these anymore. Guru Ramdas Mantra, the self at the service of the group. Okay, I have to know what this one is, though. Guru Guru Wahe Guru Guru Ramdas Guru. Okay, that's easy. The self at the service of the group. Har 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 Gobinde, the horn of plenty. Har 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 har. It plays strange on a Western mind. Har har hardy har har. There's a good mantra for you. Har harde hari wahe guru, the creative flow. Harinam Satnam Hari, manifesting through clairvoyance. Wow, look at the... I am a perfect being of light, freeing myself of perfectionism. So we have a Western, an English mantra there. Let's take a look. Oh, there's a lot. I am a perfect being of light. I have the power to live my life. So there is a more extended one in English. I am, being beyond my identity. Best way to connect with spirit. Whatever you're saying you are, or you think, I'm doing this. Who is the one that's doing this? I think this. Who is the one that is thinking that? I'm taking a shower. Who's the one that is taking a shower? And then you say, well, that's this person. Okay, well, who is that person? You keep going and going. It's an amazing meditation. I love my body. My body deserves all my love. I release control, breaking free from control. I'm just a breath of life. I am worth more than what I believe. Wow. Look at this beautiful face. So relaxed. Japji 33rd Pauri. Okay. Submitting myself to my divine power. Jaya Jaya Shiva Shambho, celebrating innate joy. I saw the most beautiful dancer dance to Shiva Shambho, and it was so beautiful, it had me in tears. It was a traditionally trained Bharatanatyam dancer, a group called Ragamala. Kirtan Kriya, releasing my mind. Light of the soul, boosting my self-esteem. You see how these cards are, maybe you can't. That half is bent, they're kind of tipping. Light of the soul, boosting my self-esteem. Light prayer, the shield of light. Loka samasta Sukhino bhavantu. Om shanti shanti shanti. Okay, Loka samasta. Let's take a look at this one. Sukhino bhavantu, may all beings in the world become happy. May peace reign everywhere. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Wow. Harmony for all. Long Ekonkar. Okay, so let's see what this one is. Ekonkar Satnam Siri Waheguru. Okay. Shri, probably. Channel of cosmic energy. Look at the caduceus in the eye. Ma, open up to receiving. Ma. So it's like the opposite of Om. Oh, Ma. Magic mantra. Open up to the magic of life. What is the magic mantra? Come on. Ekonkar Satgur Prasad, Satgur Prasad Ekonkar. I am one with everything that is. I know it through the grace of the one true teacher that I am one with everything that is. Open up to the magic of life. Mangala Charan mantra, protection in every direction. Me within me is the reality. Me within me. Okay. Me within me is the reality. Awakening my cosmic consciousness. Mool mantra, the compass of my soul. Obey, serve, love, excel. Obey, serve, love, excel. No more betraying my consciousness. Om Mani Padme Hum. Now, if you've heard the Tibetan version, it's Om Mani Padme Hum, the mantra of compassion, yes. Om Namah Shivaya, the purifying power of fire. That's a powerful mantra. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Connect to the universal consciousness. I want to see, and look, I turned right to it. Om Namah Shivaya by Sam Garrett. I would suggest the one by Robert Gass. And on Wings of Song. It goes for like an hour. It's beautiful. Connect. Okay, so this is Om, not Om. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Connect to the universal consciousness. Look at kind of dissolving into the greater consciousness. Om So Hung, I am infinity. So some of the pronunciations are like the Tibetan. In the Sanskrit, it's Hum. In Tibetan, it's Hung. So, Pavan, Pavan, recover the breath of life. Prana, Apana, Sushumna, Hari, letting go. Walking away. Rama, Dasa, healing energy. Ra, 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 ma, 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 balancing my polarities. Sun and moon. Rakhe, Rakanhar, take a higher perspective. Sat Chittananda, the blissfulness of being. Sat Kartar, opening the heart. Look at that. Sat Narayan, the need for inner peace. I love the images. Sat Siri Siri Akal, it's probably Sri Sri Akal, accepting my multidimensionality. Sherab Chamma Mantra, the Universal Mother. Oh, Sherab Chara. Oh, I just caught something here. The Sat Kartar, Kartar, A-A-R, and in the book it's spelled K-A-R-T-A-R. They dropped an A in the book. Om Mawama de Mahimoha, Ema Homa Ye Rupa Yeta Dudu Soha. Okay, and it tells you what each part in the translation means. So, Om is the primordial vibration. So it starts everything. Ma protects from energies. Wa protects from curses. Ma protects from... So each time you say it, it's something different. Wow, okay. Wa Yanti, the fertile intuition. The image from the beginning. Wahe Guru, Wahe Jio. Unburden yourself. We are the people of love, relying on each other. Look at that beautiful image. Ah, we are we, and we are one. Return to unity. These are beautiful, and I have no doubt that no matter what my opinion of the kind of reading I can get out of this deck, or my opinion and my grumpiness about how the cards are fucked up, I already love having this deck in the connection because of the content here, because of the mantra, because this is going to open up worlds in my practice, and I'm already grateful. Let's bless. Let's see if my chart... Ooh, it's still hot. Yay. Like I said, I'm doing a shooting marathon here. A marathon of 2 decks, right? Okay. So, by air and fire, may you be purified, inspired, and charged. And by water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole. And by the sound of this bell, may the spirit within you awaken. Guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, thank you so much for leading me to this deck and the worlds that rest within it, and please come play with me as we look at it as a divination tool. And I offer you fresh water. I offer you the fire of Azrael to awaken the spirit of divination. And I don't hold my breath for this shuffling. It's a long deck. I can get my fingers around it, but it's long. So it's going to be tough to cut shuffle. And ooh, Okay, if I really lay into it, I can bend them. Okay, let's look at what happens once they're shuffled. See what's happening here? They just don't fit together. I really do want to do a review of the publishers at some point, which would entail me like pulling out all the decks I have from each publisher and giving them a critique of, you know, all around, how are their decks? Do they work well? What, particularly the publisher choices of packaging and stuff like cardstock. And I left those on there because I couldn't pick them all up, and they're, yeah, this is so unfortunate. I am hoping that as I shuffle them, they may learn to hang together a little bit better. As you can see, when I did that, these two kind of stayed bent. I can't get my hand all the way around them as a whole deck. They do cut shuffle all right, though, so I think I can hold them this way, and they do kind of slide against each other. All right, but what I'm going to do is cut them. I'm just going to cut them like a book. And I do believe I'm only going to take one because there's a lot to read, and I do want to, you know, give you a glimpse into how they really do read. And you know what? They are cut unevenly. Let me see if I can get it to pop in with all of that. I think you can see. This is so bright. There. You see? They're cut unevenly. You have one job. Publishing a deck of cards. You got one job. Make it usable as a deck of cards. All right. Now, before I choose a card here, I am going to take refuge in the Guru, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. Inspired by my Guru, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. My path is supported by the Guru, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Dharma is the teachings. The Guru, of course, is your teacher in this life, or the great teacher. The Buddha is our own awakened mind and those that have gotten there before us. The Dharma is their teachings, and the Sangha is the community of practitioners. So, what mantra do I need to bring into my life today? What vibration do I need to bring into my life today in order to take the next step on my journey towards my enlightenment, towards my highest potential? I'm going to open you like a book. We are we, and we are one. So, what a great card for the collective, huh? Full mantra. We are we, and we are one. 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 Homi hum brahm hum, homi hum brahm hum. Homi hum brahm hum, homi hum brahm hum. Translation: we are us and we are one. We are us and we are the divine, the source, the infinite creation. Great hardships show us that we need each other. When a disaster happens, when an earthquake engulfs a village, when a pandemic incapacitates the entire planet, or when a volcano awakens on an idyllic island, the people who need help don't care about who is giving them a helpful hand as long as someone is helping. Hierarchical conditioning falls away, and the emergency of the group is more important than the identity of the individual. In these moments, we learn about solidarity, brotherhood, and sisterhood. In these moments, we realize that everyone is essential. It is only when we are united that the magic can happen. In Kundalini Yoga, this mantra is often chanted in pairs in what is called a Venus Kriya, a posture facing each other face to face. To look into the eyes of a stranger during a meditation is a metamorphic experience. I can verify. At first, we see the face of the other person, but soon the features of the individual disappear, allowing us to see a familiar mirror. We recognize ourselves in the other, whatever their age or their gender. We no longer see the stigma of our physical and historical differences. We see only unity. To feel one with all is one of the greatest thrills life has to offer. It is the cathartic disruption of an emotion that everyone is feeling simultaneously. It is what touches, the cathartic disruption of emotion that everyone is feeling. Okay, so unity shakes us out of that individual emotion that is so powerful. It is what touches the hearts of those who come together in large gatherings, a protest in the street, a concert, a tragedy in a theater, or a group prayer. The quantum field of unity propels us beyond space and time, reminding us of our cosmic nature composed of star fragments and photons common to the entire universe. Have you forgotten the divine truth of your being? Have you forgotten that every human carries the same truth within themselves? Even those you consider inferior, monstrous, immoral, or unworthy? Return to a state of unity with others, but especially with yourself. You cannot access the one as long. Listen up. Yoo-hoo, if you're tuning out, ding, 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 tune back in for this one sentence. You cannot access the one as long as you reject parts of yourself. Practice. Sitting cross-legged with your hands on your sternum, left hand under the right hand. Chant the mantra for at least 7 minutes. Another possible way to meditate with this mantra is to cover your eyes with your hands. You take away all the masks of all the roles you've played in your life to listen only to your voice chanting unity. Musical suggested version is Humi Hum Brahm Hum by Kevin James. I will put that in the subtitle if I remember. Okay. So the one thing I will say is the left hand under the right hand. When I did Tara practice with my teacher Prema Dasara, it is a women's practice, and she would have us put the right hand under because the women unfold from the feminine side first. So the right hand on top is you unfolding from the masculine side. So the message for all of us. I mean, I'm glad this card came out. What better card to come out when I'm doing an unboxing and I do readings for the whole and the collective here, is that we are one and we are one. We are one. I am one. So we start with opening to the rejected parts of ourselves and recognizing those as spirit, those as part of the one. When we bring those in, then we become able to bring in others that have been rejected and judged and ostracized. We are one and we are one. Return to the unity. 7 minutes. That's, I used to do over a half an hour practice of mantra every morning during the height of the pandemic. And I have not returned to that practice, but this is a way to get me practicing again, but making it new. I recommend this deck. Yes, I do. Even though the cardstock sucks and the fact that they split the deck in half, any packaging that has a deck split like that is going to have problems. This is what I have learned. They are rarely cut the same. Rarely. And yet, the content of this deck, thank you so much, Lily Barbary Coulon. Thank you so much. The content of this deck is worth every penny. I highly recommend. What do you guys think about this new release? Are you going for it? If you are, why? I don't think I'm ever going to try to use this deck as just a divination deck, to do a reading with. This is a draw a card and do the practice deck. And I so appreciate it. And, the divination part comes in because you put yourself in that place of trust, and the card that you draw will certainly be the exact one that you need at that moment. And I offer again the fire of Azrael. I offer incense. I offer light. I offer my breath. I offer my affection, my presence. Yeah. So, of course, when you put them back in the box, they're not going to fit quite as well. But, you know, in they go. All right. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. You see that wish list down below? Yeah. I think I'm going to start putting my pre-order list there, too, if anybody wants to pre-order a deck, because I do love doing these new releases. All right, you guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Hit the like button. I keep forgetting to say this, but you know how YouTube works. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit me up on Wednesday nights for a live stream. Most Wednesdays. Some nights it's a Thursday. Some weeks it's not at all if I'm flared up with my chronic fatigue. But anyway, thanks again for hanging out. I'll see you guys next time. Till then, this is Luna. Blessed be.